Hello guys, welcome back. Sethonon here. This is the Daily Grind. This is Saint Seiya Awakening. And against my better judgment, I decided to run some summonings through the event because there is a side event that wasn't supposed to be here. This theme summon win great value rewards. Every day there are a couple of quests here that reset, and they are for 3 daily summons and 10 daily summons, and that's 400,000 experience points, 50 stamina, and 1 box of Cosmos Grade S that you can be awarded every day from doing this. Also, you start accumulating prizes at 30 summons. That's another 300,000 experience bottles for your characters, and shards for both Leo and Virgo. And also you make back some of the summoning stars, and this goes on to 50, 100, and the prices are escalating. The higher number of summons you make, the higher the return of rewards that you are going to get. This is now standard in the Chinese server. That wasn't the case when the game launched, so obviously this is something that was implemented very recently, for perhaps in the past patch, for the Singapore version, which is the one we are playing now. So just because of the experience points, that's very attractive to do 10 special summons every day, and it lasts the whole week of the event. So that's 1.5 million. Well, no, actually it's more, because it's 400,000 every day, and then you start getting extra at 300, at 30 pulls, and then at 50 and 100, which is completely doable for free players. So it's a lot of experience that allows you to at least bring one character. If you amass all the experience you get from the summoning pool, then you can bring one character to rank 5 stars and level 70 just from each summoning. This is a very big leg up for starting players. Of course, you have to be at least level 25 to access the quest lines that allow you to bring a character to this place. Well, that being said, I already got Leo and Virgo, even though I didn't want them. Not because they are bad, they are good characters. There are no bad characters in Saint Seiya Awakening, I can tell you, because I played the Chinese version. So it's just that they aren't meta. Whatever they do, there are other characters that do it better. Like, for example, if you want to run a silence composition to enable Leo, instead of using Shaka, Virgo Shaka, who has an AoE attack that silences several characters in one go, the problem with him is that it's very expensive to cast, considering the damage he does. And even when you bring him to level 80 and full rank, he is not a big damager. AoE attacks in this game, for the most part, are really low damage if they are not going to do a critical. And in these 40 pulls that I've done this week since the event started, I also got Saori, who is meta. So if you have Saori, I'm going to do a video on her once I start leveling her up, because she is very valuable in the end game. She is not a damaging character, she's a support character. She purges debuffs, increases the resistance of your team to controlling effects, and can cast protection from death up to 2 characters at the same time. Maximum. So she can protect your tank, she can protect your taunter, or she can protect your damage dealer to keep him from dying. So she's very, very important, and she's a staple of the big PvP teams over at the Chinese server. So, well, what's the video about today? We just had maintenance last night, or last night, because this is at around 1 o'clock in the morning where I live. And we had several balance patches implemented. One of them was the ability to split or sacrifice or convert your unwanted cosmos, either from Titan or the boxes. I think I have one box. No, I have no boxes. Directly into Cosmos experience. So you no longer have to do this. Come here to the screen, select one Cosmos, click on upgrade, and start selecting the Cosmos. Once you enable the auto split, here in this screen, the auto split allows you to change every new Cosmos that you get into money or into Cosmos experience. And once you get high enough in the game, you can even do this and convert every Cosmos that is not double S directly into experience. That's going to be later on. Right now, for me, I have already geared all the characters I want for my main PvP team and my main story team, so I no longer need B Cosmos, grade B Cosmos. And you can even select with this custom which ones and what rank you want to convert to either money or experience. So if you want a specialized rundown for this, leave that in the comments below. This is just stating what is new in the patch. And they have also opened up another side of the story. Before this patch, you were only able to reach chapter 16 of the storyline. So now they opened up 17 and 18. So we are closer to the release of the Poseidon saga. So in the coming month, month and a half at most, we are going to have Poseidon released for this game. I know this because that was the release schedule for the Chinese version. So in the Chinese version, there is a banner 1 week, a summoning banner 1 week. There is 1 week off where you can gather materials, gather gems, start buying summoning stars, do PvP to get even more stars, and then you get the next summoning banner. On the off week, they usually release characters that are not S rank, but that complement the storylines. So, for example, we just had Saga and Aiolos, and we didn't get their off weeks. And now we got Leo and Virgo at the same time, so I'm suspecting that they are just speeding up the process of releasing characters to catch up with the Chinese version, so we have a global release. The Android APK has already been officially released for the GT Arcade site, so you can check their Facebook page and look for the APK, so you no longer have to use a VPN or create a Singapore placed account to download the installer. You can play the game. Once you have the game installed, you can play directly. You don't need a VPN. That's very cool. So is the case with the Chinese version. You can directly download the APK from them and install. The problem with the Chinese version is that you cannot access with a Facebook or a Google account, so you have to create a WeChat account for the Chinese server so they can validate your account. But it's faster to install that version, or it was faster to install that version until today. After today, you can download the APK for Seiya Awakening directly from GT Arcade and install, update, and just link your Google or Facebook account, or you can create a GT Arcade account to save your progress. I don't recommend to you, if you're starting out with this game, you're interested in this game and decided to start out, don't worry, every character that has already been released has been added to the summoning pool, so you don't have to wait to start summoning your guys. There's a system in place where if you are below level 10, your first 20 summons using the stars here, the portrait of the featured character only happens during a banner. So if you don't see a banner because you have to be level 10 or above to get this special summoning event, you can come here to the advanced summoning system and you are guaranteed, this is something that I didn't know, your first 20 pulls are guaranteed to give you at least one S card. It can be any of the S cards. It can be Sorrento, it can be Athena, it can be the Pope, or somebody like that, or Sea Dragon, whatever. So it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a Gold Saint, but you are going to get, in the first 20 pulls, you are going to get an S card using the normal summoning, and then you can move on after you finish leveling up to 10, which takes around 2 hours, so I don't see why wouldn't you wait. Then you can start using the special summoning pool. The featured characters are always displayed in the middle of the screen. When there is no the special summoning banner, Kiki is instead sitting there, because your captain or your avatar you can change at any time. So that on the right is your avatar, and in the middle of the screen there is going to be the featured banner character. Now don't despair if you really want Gold Saints. They are following the exact same release schedule. So down the line, maybe in a month maximum, there is going to be a special event for summoning Gold Knights exclusively. And they give preference to all the ones you don't already have. But that's going to be after Libra Doko is released, because that's the only Gold Saint that is missing. Now, continuing with the new content, they opened up the plot reincarnation, but you have to be level 35 to access it, and that's just the storyline in harder versions for better prices. You get a ton of experience points here, you get summoning stars every time you finish one chapter. So instead of re-rolling, which is something I keep seeing in forums, I keep seeing in videos, people asking to re-roll, don't lose time re-rolling. Why? Because PvP here in the Galactic Duel and the Sacred Duel, it's inter-system, so you can play Android versus iOS, and it's also inter-server. So if you start in one of the oldest servers, you are going to go against people that have been playing 3 weeks, 1 month, starting from closed beta, open beta, and release, and they already have their summons, they have already leveled their characters, they have already accessed a lot of stuff that gives you a big advantage as a player. Believe me, If you have a character, like for example, I have been playing for little over a week, and just from finishing normal content, I already have a level 50 move. And I'm going slow because I'm not investing money in this game. Not because I can't, but just because out of principle. Just to show for the audience, to show the audience that it is entirely possible to do well in this game when you have a well-designed team. And you don't need a full team of S cards to do well in this game. Now, for example, let's go to the train hall. Just to showcase, I already did a video on Leo and Virgo. But that was from my Chinese account where they are way more leveled up. I'm going to show you this team. This is a heavy control, and once I unlock Leo 7th sense, it's going to be way more useful. My Nero Witch doesn't have any cosmos and she's level 1, but this is the principle. You use her silence on one character that is slower than Leo. So I'm going to cast it on Andromeda, and I'm going to try to stun Seiya with Whale. There you go. And Perseus can petrify characters actively, or if he receives 20% damage of his HP bar, he's instantly going to petrify for one turn the character that attacked him. So now with Leo, what you have to do, I don't have energy for the AoE, but when you have your 7th sense unlocked, this Andromeda that is silenced is going to trigger extra attacks for the Leo Saint. And then any extra energy with pieces, you just use like this. And you go for the AoE, but you have to give the control debuff to somebody who is slower than Leo, and I'm going to give you the Cosmos build for him in this version of the game. So like that. Once you start upgrading your skills, this is why you have to also shuffle B cards and A cards, because it's way easier for you to max out your A and B cards instead of just the S cards. And I'm going to start recording the Galaxy competition. You also get a lot of points, a lot of prizes from the training hall. Finish your 39 missions every week, because you get the special prizes from doing that. Well, let's go into the Cosmos build for Leo, and I'm going to do one for Virgo later. So this is how you want to build your Leo, even though the game suggests that you use this Cosmos, the fire, because it gives critical effect. It gives very low physical attack. And if you're going to go with the fire drops, then you have to use the Kingfisher Legendary Cosmos, this one. To guarantee. But you have to have the snakes, I think it's called Staunch. And here you can use whatever. As long as it gives HP, it's good. So you can use, I call them the Griffons, but they call it Tenacity in this version. Or you can use Dual Defense. It's also good for Leo. But the real meat is when you level up the Cosmos, you have to look for substats that increase physical attack and critical chance for Leo. That's why I'm not using the fire drops, because most of the time you can get way more substats for your character. And also look for percentages. Cosmos that give substats that increase full percentages, like this one. This gives physical attack because that allows you to keep refining and bring your attacks way higher. For example, this one can fill up to 3%, but you can, if you can get 2 physical attack substats for each Cosmos, because even the legendary ones get those, and you can get up to 6 per Cosmos. That's how you know you have a keeper. It has to be at least rank S for the Cosmos, and it has to have 6 substats, and the substats have to benefit your characters. In the case of Leo, I will have to get these stones or the fire drops with all 6 substats being physical attack percentage, HP percentage, or critical strike percentage. Preferably. And sometimes you can even get 6 of the same one, because you do the math. If you just get one single physical attack substat on every Cosmos, that's 3% times 10, that's a 30% increase on top of what you get from your main set. S Cosmos, when you rank them to 10, give 13% physical attack per Cosmos. And then if you have 3 of the same stones, they also give a flat 10% on top of what you get. So this set of stones by itself gives 49% increase when you bring your Cosmos to level 10. That's just from the red ones, and you can keep adding up from the other ones. So that's the video for Leo Eloya. And if you're going to work with him, bring somebody like the team I presented to you, like the witch, whale or bear, Geki the bear, or Esquila Io also has a chance to stun opponents. Somebody like that. I don't recommend the Pope, even though he can cast confusion and stun on the opponents, because it's very expensive and it's slower than Leo. So you need somebody who goes before Leo to cast a control debuff on the enemy in order to trigger these 7 cells. And you are going to use the AoE, and when it hits the controlled opponent, it's going to hit 6 times in a row. Either the basic 6 times in a row, or the AoE, it's also going to hit 6 times in a row. So that's the video presentation for Leo, the review. He's a very good character. He's just fallen behind in the end game. In the coming months, he's going to fall down because there are going to be characters released that have less conditionals to work, because Leo, if he doesn't trigger his passive, he's not very useful. His damage is very, very low. Even when you have maxed out the skills, he doesn't hit very hard. And he has that requirement that he has to hit somebody that is under a control debuff. So that's all for the video review about Ailoya Leo. He's the brother of Sagittarius Aiolos, and they have a pretty cool story inside the series. If you want to know, leave a comment below. See you again next time, and remember, keep grinding on.